Hey, Rainy Joe here, or the Average Joe, and today we are going to be reacting to the album This Is Why by Paramore. Now keep in mind this is just a reaction video and not a full-length review. If you want a full-length review, you can go to my website, www.theaveragejoesmusicopinion.com, where I will have a full-length review written there after I've heard this album multiple times, rather than just a first reaction. Again, if you're watching this video, it should be uploaded to the site. But back to the reaction at hand here. It is 10 songs, 36 minutes, a rather short album. Came out earlier this year, I believe it's sometime in February. And I know this was one of the big releases that came out in the first half of the year that I sort of just overlooked or forgot to get around to. So why not just listen to it now? Rounding out the year, I kind of want to, gather up any albums I missed and hear them and put them, in my lists for the end of the year. And with that in mind, I don't want to waste any time. I have not really listened to much Paramore in the past, so this is all going to be very fresh and unique to me. But from what I have heard, they are a pretty enjoyable and fun band. Starting with the first track, the title track of the album, This Is Why. 73, almost 74 million at the time of recording this, so people like this one. As far as I know, they're kind of a punkish act, reminiscent of 2000s to a lot of people. Very clean production. I like the drums on this. Ooh, really love that driving, punchy drum with that chorus there. She's a great singer, Haley Williams, I believe that's her name. God, that chorus. This is a beautiful chorus. Really fun, very energetic. Nice little switch up. Only 2 minutes in, but I like the variation so far. Almost like a anti-social anthem. Love the vocals too, like the backup vocals too. What a way to kick things off. Very punchy chorus, great backing vocals, production quite clean and crisp. Just a really fun, energetic opener. Loved it. Next we're going on to the news. I like that riff there. Really great riffs too so far. That is a very weird comparison I'm about to make, but the riffs on here, especially that guitar riff that's like dun 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 dun, reminds me a lot of Black Midi's Schlagenheim. I know it's a very weird comparison considering they're not a band that a lot of artists have in common with, but I don't know, that's just jumping out to me. Just reminds me of Schlagenheim's very riff heavy element. It's almost like a Schlagenheim instrumental. It's like a song about the emotional toll, news and the overall state of society takes on us as we see it on our phones and our computers. What is that, a cowbell in the background? Love that one. Again, very high energy. Just loving the sort of direction of this album so far. And really great singer. Can't believe I've gone this long without really diving into their stuff. But just fun, enjoyable tracks tackling very real modern day issues. Oh yeah, but this is running out of time on this one. I like this more laid back almost delivery she's giving. Very self-restraint voice here. Damn. Very punchy. I love that just hard-hitting delivery here. Speaking of the very real issue of always feeling like you're out of time, that you just can't keep up with the pace of society. I think that's the message here. Something I personally also struggle with. Ooh, I like that scream. Very unified sort of band here. They all really add so much in their own way. Oh, this outro here too is just so gorgeously, instrumentally dense. Love that one. Abrupt end, but still loved it. Probably the most upbeat so far, maybe. Just loving the overall punchy upbeat, fun, energetic tone, while at the same time tackling, issues that I feel like are so prevalent in modern day society. Fun, light delivery, serious, heavy topics. And that's the best way to deliver. Next we've got C'est Comme Ça. I think that's the right pronunciation. 2.5 minutes. Again, very fun chorus here. I really like the snide and almost like self-aware, silly lyrics here. A lot of snarkiness in them. Loving this instrumental here. This nice little passage. Very tight band here. Tight performances. Loved that one. I think one can argue very repetitive chorus. But I mean, repetition in music, it's a tried and true formula. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And if it's catchy, that's kind of what matters, I think. And that one is catchy. It's very fun. And I think, in between this repetitiveness, there's at least fun enough, interesting, snide lyrics that kind of deliver on the more lyrical aspect that some might desire in their music. But again, very fun, very upbeat. Next we've got Big Man, Little Dignity. Ooh. What is this, like a Moog synthesizer or something in the background? Or some sort of accordion? I don't know. Or is that a hurdy-gurdy? Like, slower start than most. I'm not sure what the, not sure who the target is in this song, but clearly there's some sort of resentment. Much slower, more ballad-like approach here. Really enjoying the more restrained focus with this one. Letting the guitarist take focus here. I'm really liking how much each member of the band here feels like they share the floor in a way that it never feels like one's trying to steal the show. Very unified unit here. Alright, and then we got a fade out here. Going to the next track here. You First. Oh. Dropping that filter on her voice and shifting to a much more clear focus. Lots of spite within the lyrics here. Lots of resentment. Notice that in the past couple tracks here. Not loving this one as much as the others. I think the repeating of the last verse with this verse, it's the same thing kind of twice over. A little iffy on that decision, personally. It's still fun, still punchy. Love a bit of pettiness. I'm liking this verse here. This little shift over. Okay. Again, kind of how I felt, earlier, like I mentioned. I feel like this one doesn't, grab as instantly as some of the other tracks. And the repetition of the first verse, to me, it's sort of just a little iffy decision. 4 minutes, that one was. I think I like some of the shorter tracks here, to be honest. I think I like the 1-2 punch of a lot of the tracks more than this one, but that's just me. Next, we're going on to Figure 8. Like that. Whatever instrument that is in the background, not the main clanging effect, the more hushed, you can hear like the keys being pressed. It sounds like a hurdy-gurdy or something like that. Like, I don't know what I'm hearing, but I like it, is the point. The production here on this album has been very beautiful. Never overproduced, very clean. I really like the shimmering effect in the background. Oh. That riff there too, that guitar riff. Gorgeous, gnarly even. Ooh. I like this element here. The drumming here too. It's hard, to talk about all the great aspects of this album because I feel like the production and the mix has been just super clean. Her performance as a singer is incredibly charismatic, but the drumming is like a maybe an unsung hero here. I don't know. Maybe fans already know that the drumming's amazing, obviously, but as a new listener, I have to say the drumming here it's really doing a lot. It's really putting in the work. Whoever this fella is, doing one hell of a job. I like this one a lot. Whew. What a way to close it out there. Fantastic track. Loved it. Kind of pulls back, brings things to a level that I feel like the album kicked things off with and kind of, left in the middle there. But, yeah, great track. Next we're going to go right into the next one here. Liar. That's the name of this one. 4.5 minutes. But I'll be honest, the longer tracks are the ones that are not connecting with me as instantly, so we'll see how this one goes. Really liking the more, gentle approach in this track overall. Her voice is, she knows exactly when to push and when to pull. Not a lot to say about this one, but it's nice. It's a nice vibe. It's a nice tone. Much more emotionally rich. It's not one of the ones that I guess hit me as hard as some of the others here, but that's okay. Next we've got Crave, which is track 9 out of 10. We're almost done. Cannot believe how brisk this album feels. Just a good day. The second half of this album is very different from the first half, and I'm not sure how I feel about it personally, but it seems like it's much more restrained in its focus. I like the more punk aesthetic of the first half here. I do like the lyrics on this track here. Like this line here. Very, very relatable. I don't know why. Something about this track feels very, almost like 90s in a way. Could just be me, but I like it. Okay, I like that one. As far as the more gentle tracks on the second half of this album, I think Crave might be one of the ones I liked more than the others. Going right into Thick Skull. Final track here. Let's close it out with a bang. I really like those first 5 lines here. Just very, pretty, poetic, simple, but, very honest. Like those backing vocals too, as she kind of reinforces the last element. I like that. That kind of somewhat reverby tone. A little breakaway there. That guitar. I love that. Almost like shimmering on one string. Really liking this one so far. I love those drops, like that just sudden explosion of sound. This is a beautiful track. Somewhat feels kind of Radiohead-ish even. Not too sure why, but there's something. Bringing it right back around. Loved that. What a closer. Great closer. I loved just the overall tone and atmosphere of that track. Brilliant way to end things, which is great considering the second half wasn't, landing for me as much as the first half here. It didn't have as much punch as a lot of those first tracks did, but overall, I do like the way they kind of set this up and delivered it with a first batch that is more punchy and hard-hitting, and a second half that is more in its feelings and slower and a bit more melancholic in tone. But really great, brisk, beautiful 36-minute album. Cannot believe I've gone this long listening to music without checking out Paramore, because I've heard, a lot of great things about them. But this album here certainly has made me a fan. It's made me interested in what Paramore has to offer. I like this one a lot. Felt very mature and honest, very real, while at the same time never feeling too corny or too cheesy for its own good. Yeah, I loved it. But if you want to see my final thoughts, as I've heard this thing a few times, again, go to my website, www.theaveragejoesmusicopinion.com, where I will have a full written review there, where I go a bit more in-depth on my overall thoughts and feelings on this album, in a more review style format. Again, this is just a reaction, but on a first initial reaction, I gotta say, I did love this album. So I definitely get the hype around it. But anyways, that pretty much does it for the reaction. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one coming forward. And as always, my name is Randy Joe, or The Average Joe, and I'm signing off.